So, welcome. Tonight we are going to be talking about hemp flower, hemp cannabis flower. We're going to be talking about some of the benefits of the hemp flower. We're going to be talking about legality of the hemp flower and some of the stigma that goes along with it. So, lots to talk about. And we're also going to be giving away pine berry that I promised you guys. So this is what the hemp flower looks like, and I'll show a picture of it again. You guys can see in this video, how similar it looks to cannabis, medical cannabis, and of course you'll see on the front how we label our bags, and we'll come back to this. So as some of you are starting to come on, because there's a few people that are starting to come on, I'm still adding names to the wheel of names. Let me know where you're coming in from. We love to give shout outs. Give us a big hello. Leave us some monkey love. Denise, you're always so wonderful at saying good morning when it's actually the afternoon. Lots of names in this wheel. Lots more that can be added throughout this video. All you got to do is share this video as we're talking about the hemp flower, and we're going to get started here in just a few minutes with that, as I've got a couple of names that I'm still adding to the wheel, and as people are coming on, they're already starting to share, and we're going to add those names as well. Is give folks a little bit more time to come on and join us, since we posted that we were going to be going live and talking about the flower. And there's a lot of questions about the flower. There's a lot of legal questions about the flower. We get calls on a daily basis to the stores, and personally at the warehouse. Prescott's has grown with leaps and bounds over the last 13 and a half months. And as I'm going to say something to someone in the next room, so you guys don't think that I'm being mean. Hey, Leland, you got to turn the Wi-Fi off, buddy. I'm using it right now. So you can have your iPad when Mom gets done with the video. Please turn it off. So I'm fighting the kid for the Wi-Fi. Can't blame them. They love that things. Kalina, we're doing very, very well. Yes, it looks like the medical. So we'll start by saying this. Here again is the picture of the flower. Carly and I, as owners of Prescott's, make sure that we are aware of where our plants are grown, including our hemp flower. Now, this does not our flower does that we make our tinctures and our other products like the salves, the lollipops, the lip balms, the bath bombs, and all this. Yes, Lisa, it does have THC in it. However, the amount of THC that it has in it is 3% or less. We're going to talk about all of that. I promise you guys. Again, I know more and more of you are starting to come in. Thank you, Kalina, for the share. So this is what we're going to start with first. We're going to talk about the benefits and talk about some fruits out there, but they are different fruits. Yeah, Lisa. Unfortunately, out here in the area that we live, we have to battle over the Wi-Fi. But yeah, not getting on to him. He can have it when Mom's done. So we're gonna, explore the benefits of CBD. So let's talk about the hemp flower and does it get you high? So the hemp flower. Talking about the hemp flower, it does not have enough THC in it for it to create the euphoric psychoactive high that many people associate with marijuana. Okay. Does it have the THC in it? Again, yes, it does, but it has more CBD in it and cannabinoids, not just CBD, but CBN, CBG, CBC, and CBDA. With treating your body, okay? We can't use, cure and certain things like that. So what it does in this role is it has naturally occurring compounds that are vital to producing relief from anxiety and depression and pain just as well as the oils do, okay? So not only that, but scientific research shows that the aromatic compounds in the hemp flower, which are very similar to, yes, its sister marijuana, okay, these are called terpenes, okay, these are natural terpenes. This is just like pinene is a terpene that is in pine sol. Many of you may use pine sol around your house. Well, this pinene is a natural plant-based terpene, just like we have natural plant-based terpenes in the hemp flower that play a role in the aroma or the smell or the scent of the flower. So this is going to go along with the legal issue too. This is one reason that we use this packaging that we do, so that the smell does not come out of the packaging. Because again, it's a slippery slope that we are sliding and implying and moving on when coming to the hemp flower, even though it is legal. Okay, so these terpenes can play a very intimate role in the way that CBD and other cannabinoids in the plant affect you and affect the pain, affect your anxiety level, give you relaxation, help you sleep, etc. And actually, this is the pine berry, this is the lifter. There are a lot of different strains, and each strain has different benefits of the body and different things that it does as far as targeting those pains and inflammation, etc. And we actually have a book and a guide in each one of our stores, and you can look these up. And if you'd like more information, you can email us at info@prescottshemp.com, and we can actually email you some of the benefits of the different hemp flowers if you can't get into the store, okay? So, difference between hemp flower and marijuana flower, okay? The main difference is the THC content. Of course, in marijuana, it's very, very high in THC content, but by mass weight, hemp flower is only allowed 3% at the federal level, which is by mass weight. Now, what does that mean for you in passing or failing a drug test? This flower, yes, could cause you to fail a drug test over time if you use it day in and day out, just like marijuana can. What happens is these THC compounds, these cannabinoids, just like the CBN, CBG, CBC, they collect and store as a protein around the kidneys and the liver and the fat cells. Your body stores them so that it can use those later, okay? And because of that, then yes, it could cause failure of a drug test. However, that doesn't mean that it has or does not have therapeutic uses, okay? CBD-rich hemp flower contains very little THC content. So you don't have to worry about the delirious effects that THC marijuana high content will give you in feeling psychoactive, okay? Studies show that CBD is an psychotropic has antipsychotropic properties, antipsychotic properties, meaning that it could be helpful in experiencing panic attacks, anxiety, and other mental issues, whereas THC marijuana, certain strains can actually cause people to have panic attacks and actually make their anxiety worse, if you will, okay? So CBD hemp flower actually works differently than marijuana could, okay? Another benefits of CBD flower is that, you know, it's suitable and attributable power for not only anti-inflammation, but arthritis, fibromyalgia, the anxiety disorders, eating disorders, chronic pain, depressive disorders, neurodegenerative disorders, multiple sclerosis, cancers, and many, many more. A lot of people also like to take the flower, and what they will do is heat it in an oven. They'll use a parchment paper, not so much as a wax paper, but a parchment paper. They'll heat the flower at 202 degrees for at least 90 minutes. You can put that in a jar, and if you're a protein or a smoothie drinker, then you can add that into a protein shake or a smoothie in the mornings. And this actually has benefits on the inside out, okay? So it can have benefits that last anywhere from 8 to 10 hours if ate or drank in a smoothie, whereas if it's used as an inhalant, the effects are immediate. The response is immediate to your body, but once it's done, its peak life is only about an hour to 2 hours. It's done. Whereas if you heat it, you use it in foods, you use it in smoothies, it's gonna burn that acid off, change the chemical compound, and actually work from the inside out. So if you have issues with digestion, maybe you have some cancers, you know, like I said, the multiple sclerosis and certain things like that, it will work differently in the body from the inside out through your digestive system, okay? So that's just a little bit, you know, of explanation about that. And if you guys have questions, ask me. I'll be more than willing, you know, to answer them as we go along. I know more and more people are starting to jump in. So CBD triggers the activity of what's called our endocannabinoid system. Endo meaning inside. So our body actually has this cannabinoid system that we create certain cannabinoids for, that the system works in culmination alongside our central nervous system, brain and spinal cord, to work on neuroreceptors in the brain as well as receptors throughout your body and your organs that can help control what's called homeostasis, which includes your cardiovascular system. It contains receptors in the nervous system, your endocrine system, the musculoskeletal system, pain responses, emotional responses. So many different things that this endogenous endocannabinoid system can do in coordination with things like hemp flowers and oils, okay? And it works hand in hand with the body's own cannabinoid compounds that it produces, okay, to react in short order neurotransmitters that actually provide on-demand instructions for your body where it's needed. So basically, in layman's terms, that's like, say for instance, you stomp your toe. You actually have benefits of CBDs for stomping your toe. It's not going to hurt maybe as bad. Or let's say, for instance, you have digestive issues that may be coming on and you may not see them for several weeks down the road because of eating habits or external factors. Your body has these cannabinoids that you're already using, and it says, hey, I've got this stored over here. I need that. Kalina says, by selecting the correct strain is very important too. Yes. You know, selecting the correct strain is definitely a upside to what you're dealing with. Again, we have portfolios in our stores, in our brick and mortar locations, as well as online that we can send you. You can also now call into our offices. We have people on staff, including ourselves in the warehouse too, that can help answer questions. That number is 662-427-9355. You can also email us at info@prescottshemp.com. And I'll also go ahead and say that, It's very, very important to be educated on this. And at Prescott's, we try to set ourselves apart from all the other vape shops, CBD stores, pharmacies, doctors, nurses, etc. Nothing wrong with these folks, but we try to set ourselves apart in getting our associates and people that work for us, not only just ourselves, educated in the cannabis industry, educated on this endogenous endocannabinoid system. So we spend quite a bit in educating them so that they can facilitate this to you, correctly answer your questions, and correctly guide you. They're never, ever going to point you to an expensive product just to make a sale. We're definitely here because we want to help. Again, keep asking questions. Now, CBD effects on chronic diseases. This has been another hot topic with things like PTSD, OCD, ADHD, and other mental health conditions that can cause depression and anxiety-like symptoms, okay? So CBD has been shown to induce what's called apoptosis, or cell death, in many types of cancers. It's also been known to treat those PTSD, OCDs, and ADHDs rather therapeutically. These results have been shown in many laboratory studies. You know, some of them long-term, some of them are short-term clinical trials. However, a recent study showed that CBD plus chemotherapy actually tripled the survival rate in pancreatic cancer, which I thought was a huge statement. Now, talking about something like pancreatic cancer, remember a few minutes ago I was talking about how you could heat this, put it in a jar, and then ingest it through a shake or a food later on. You can cook with it just as long as you don't heat it over 300 degrees, 202 at best, which means it may take a little bit longer to actually cook the food that you may be wanting to use to ingest the hemp flower, okay? Always consult your medical professionals. They may or may not be on your side about hemp flower and CBDs. That's okay. Most of the time, they're just a little apprehensive because they don't have all the knowledge that they yet need to guide you or to help you or to actually give you the information that they feel comfortable with giving you. Prescott's, we're not going to lie to you. We're not going to blow any fluff, but we're also going to continue to educate ourselves and pass along what knowledge that we know. And if we don't know, then we're going to point you, in the right direction, okay? Now, let's talk about a little bit about the legality. This is a gray area. Yes, it is legal, okay? Yes, it's legal. But if you look at this, it looks and it smells just like a high-grade reefer, just like a high-grade medical therapeutic flower that you would get in a medically legal state. Now remember, here in Mississippi, it's a gray area. States like Alabama and Tennessee have actually decriminalized the possession of certain amounts of medical cannabis or marijuana because they cannot tell the difference between hemp flower and actual cannabis if you're driving up and down the road. Now, we caution all of our clients that come into the stores and purchase online. We give you a copy of labs. We staple a copy of the labs to the receipt. And we try to encourage you to be wise and smart about traveling in the use of your hemp flower because they do not have a field test to know the difference. So, let's assume that you are just chiefing in the car. That's not wise, guys. It's not illegal, but at the same time, it's a gray area. It looks and smells just like cannabis. So you're going to be cited for possession of marijuana. You're going to be pulled over. They're going to take the flower. They're going to take the receipts and the labs that we've given you. They're going to send it off to a crime lab. It's going to come back as hemp flower, okay? It's going to come back as hemp flower. But you've already been charged. You've already had to spend money on an attorney that you shouldn't have. So we like to caution everybody, please do not draw negative attention to yourself in transporting your therapeutic product to your home. Use them in the privacy of your own home. And this just comes from being smart and being wise and being educated. Kat says, as good as this stuff is and helps, still most doctors don't want to talk to us about it, that they'll cut you off. Yes, Kat, that is very true. Mind you, this is a direct threat, as well as the oils, to the pharmaceutical industry. And again, nothing against doctors, pharmacies, or anybody else, but they have made a great living on selling synthetic medications that have created more problems for us as human beings. And more we're starting to see in the media certain CEOs of pharmaceutical companies and certain owners of pharmaceutical companies actually going to jail because it's been proven that they knew that these drugs could cause side effects, and that they even created clinics to help people get off the same medications that they created that they knew you would get addicted to. Okay? The knowledge is out there. The power is out there. You just have to do your homework. So the legality of hemp flower in certain states is still a little bit hazy. But like I said, Alabama and Tennessee have actually relaxed and loosened their laws on possession. And in one of the states, it's $100 fine and a simple misdemeanor instead of, a felony and whatnot, like it is in some other states. Okay. So just be wise, be smart, and, be cautious. Do not, be smoking it in your vehicle. Do not, be having it out in public, because yes, it's legal, but again, there's a lot of education still yet that needs to be done, even with our public officials and those who serve and protect us, okay? And that's what they're there for. They're there to serve and protect us. They're not really trying to peg you out and be mean. But if you're drawing negative attention to yourself and you have this in the car and you're acting like, it's just cool, I can chief going down the road, more than likely, not always, but more than likely, you're up to something else. And we're not here to encourage breaking the law, and we're not here to encourage people to do the wrong things. Okay. They're currently selling CBD at one of the local pharmacies now because, again, it's a direct threat, Lisa. They see that more and more people are going to another all-natural homeopathic way to treat themselves in the form of flowers and CBD tinctures. But many of those, again, have that THC in there, and they're not always explaining to their clients that it could. At some point, yes, over time, you will fail a drug test if you are using products that has THC in there, because they will continue to build out. Whitney Coleman says, does CBD come in a flower form or a powder form, like in a form that's already ready to be used for cooking? If not, that would be great. Whitney, if you can think about it right now in the CBD industry, it's probably out there being created. Okay. Now, I do not currently know of a flower or a powder form that is on the market that can be cooked with. That's why we currently suggest using the flower. Now, there is a product called CBD isolate that people can use in that form. But again, that's just cannabidiol. That's not going to have your CBN. It's not going to have CBG. It's not going to have CBC or CBN. And your body really needs all these cannabinoids, not just CBD. CBD is great, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. We actually, on our bottles, and I know this is kind of getting away from flour for just a minute, but on our bottles, it says whole hemp plant extract. And that's because we have all cannabinoids. We're not just CBD. It's all the cannabinoids from the plant, not just from the hemp seed, and not just an isolate. Now, mind you, an isolate is the best direct form of just CBD, but if you're having trouble with sleep, you don't need CBD. You need CBN. If you are looking for help with digestive issues, CBD is going to help a little, but you'd be better to have CBD and CBG, because the more that you can get, again, the more that they're going to contribute to the receptors throughout the entire body, and they're going to work together to create that homeostasis. CBD alone can't create that homeostasis. You need all cannabinoids for your body to have what's called an entourage effect. so that it creates the entire homeostasis and not just treats one area or one problem. It's better to treat them all with one product, as opposed to, say, for example, the pharmaceutical industry may treat you with several different medications for each individual problem, whereas a whole hemp plant product or a flower product can treat many issues, okay, and many diseases with one simple plant. And that's why there's so much advocacy going on for this plant right now, because it has so many benefits to our body that we can see and that we can use, okay? And that's why there's so much conversation around it right now. And we want to be at the forefront of that conversation. We really hope that we are at the forefront of that conversation here at Prescott. So, some people may call the cops on you, you know, if they smell you smoking the hemp flower. If you live in close proximity in an apartment complex or whatever, they may show up at your door. Some people think that the hemp flower may disproportionately affect minorities. It's there. There's social stigmas, you know, with hemp and marijuana. I mean, as a matter of fact, I'm going to do a video on this later on in the week, a little bit about the history of hemp and marijuana and cannabis in general and how it was taken away from us. But there's a lot of propaganda, and you guys can pick up what I'm stepping in, about racial ethnicities and do they do drugs or are they just getting high. You guys can read between the lines. I won't go into that too much now. So you just really need to understand the quality of product. Now, the last thing I'm going to say about the hemp flower, there are, of course, some vape shops and tobacco shops out there in a company that's starting to make a hemp cigarette. I'm not a fan of this hemp cigarette in a pack because it smells very much like a cigarette. And the quality of the hemp, you don't really know what the quality of the hemp is in this package. When you get something like Pine Berry or Lifter or Special Sauce from us, you can guarantee that we have traceability over our plants. As a matter of fact, Carly and I signed a new contract with our farm while we were gone. We did meet up with our farmers while we were out in California last week. And so we signed a contract for 200 pounds of flower to be grown specifically for us. Now, these plants that we are having grown specifically for us, we have new strains coming out in September, was actually just awarded the best farm and the best plants in the state of Oregon, okay, by High Times Magazine. Yes, it's High Times Magazine, but they not only are interested in the hemp industry now, they're also interested in the health side of the CBD industry, okay? So that's a very big and very bold statement. So we like to know that we possess quality control and transparency through every product that Prescott's carries, okay? Some of the things that you're going to get at a gas station or a tobacco store, they don't have traceability. Some of it comes from China, some of it's synthetic, some of it may or may not come here from the United States. They're looking for the biggest profit margin that they can make on a product to make up profit losses or losses from things that they're not making a profit on through hemp flower, okay? With that being said, we're going to get to the wheel of names. There was a lot of you that really shared the hemp flower post that I had. There was a lot of you that really did that, and I'm so super excited and super stoked that you did, and thankful for that, because again, you know, if it wasn't for you guys out there, Carly and I could not be successful. So I got my wheel, my pretty little wheel, and we're going to see who our winner is. Lots and lots of names that were on this, lots and lots of shares. Please share this video. Invite your friends to like PrescottsHemp.com. Let's see, who's it going to be? Sherry Vanderford Scott. Sherry Vanderford Scott, you are our winner of the 8th bag of Pine Berry. Please get with us. You can call me personally, 731-610-8415. If we need to ship it to you, we'll ship it to you for free. If you would like to pick it up at one of our